going because we got to get out of here. Let's bring in John on a blank once again to bring us Sandhawk.
God, he doesn't put much on Godlike, does he? Top 5 every game. Oh wow, I've extrapolated his words a little bit there, Blank, but I'm sure he'll tell me about that later. 39 points so far on the Godlike tally. They climbed up 2 places over Fenerbahce and Furious Gaming, but there's still a long way to go to get to the top of the mountain.
I do feel kind of bad for Godlike there. There's a lot of pressure on them after a game where they had 9 eliminations on Miramar and did fairly bloody well, actually, in my opinion.
They got 17 points.
This is like last chance saloon. It needs to get 29 points here, apparently. But no, I think Godlike's last game was pretty good. You know, keep it up, though, honestly, at this point. 3rd game, halfway point right now in the tournament. I think Jason's right in a way that it is time to get the ball a little bit rolling, just a wee bit, but we'll see how it happens. Northwest Island, 6-2-8 Na'Vi, typical drop swap for those teams. Usually 6-2-8 are able to pick up the Northwest Mountain itself. We are going to have this heavy northern shift with a lot of water in it towards that northern side of the map.
The northern side of the map is where Infinity find themselves. They're on that split, and we talked about the Infinity on Sandhawk, right? That's how they like to play us. Stay out, just chill, just vibe. But with this circle, that's going to be difficult to be able to achieve. It's more than likely they're going to have to alter that and go a little bit more central for this regroup, potentially towards Tatmok.
Yeah, I think for Infinity at least, you know... Oh, dear, Max.
Where's his health bar? Where's it gone?
Bang! You don't need no health to take the health from someone else, put it that way. The Infinity, yeah, this is their typical split that they've played a lot of times in East League before things start to get a little bit more dicey and a few more teams actually head up this way. Furious Gaming up here, 4 rivals no longer towards Hatin, down towards Kambang now. So honestly, you know, the Infinity, they should be feeling pretty happy with themselves on the northern side. Not too much to worry about. Again, there is a team in Paradise Resort. It is S2G. So they'll be holding down to that one for a little while. The Infinity might peruse a chance heading down that way, but I think they'll keep it slow for the time being.
Well, if you want to be a little bit quicker, then be quick on over to watch the in-game feed as well to grab those boxes whilst you can. The treasure boxes are there. You just got to tap that PMGC logo in-game lobby, and we'll be seeing you there and see if you can get some of those treasure boxes. Great stuff, great stuff. I know Seven, I know Max are absolutely dribbling for the chance to be allowed to go and grab those. So they'll be happy about it. I hope you guys will too. Maybe even grab some PMGC League player cards as well to summon your Fantasies team in the Esports Center in-game.
A couple of rabid dogs just driven by the hunger for treasure. Honestly, true. We'll see how they do look after that next game. Perhaps need to change a couple of shirts or two with the amount of, you know, drool that maybe has affected them in that way. We are going to get a little bit of a substitution. I feel like substitutions are all team secret in this sense. Kid in for, or Mad Toy in for Kid. Honestly, Mad Toy here, don't mind him on Sandhawk in particular. Again, I've said it before, is that this guy's quite calm, collected fellow. Tends to be able to work well under pressure. And I think on Sandhawk, it's an important place to have that mentality and have that rock in your midst that you can always rely on or fall back to.
6-8 in Hatin. Need to convert on their good performance. I mean, Seven was saying this is the 6-8 that he wanted to see, right? This is the one he was bigging up, but that was one game, and they're still on 11th, so they still got a long way to go.
Yeah, the last game was incredible.
Oh, they have jumped up. Oh, up to 5th. Sorry, I hadn't refreshed my feed. That's the second time I've done that.
Bloody hell.
They're all the way up in 5th. Okay, I'll take it back. 7. Good call.
Yeah, good call, Seven. Good call. Yeah, this last game was incredible. I mean, it definitely was our highest elim count out of the entirety of the tournament so far. And they really put the pressure on a lot of teams. And I think that putting the pressure on really was that storyline from that last game. The shots were so clean from them. They were never letting up. I don't think there was a point in that game where they weren't progressing towards some kind of goal, be it getting elims elsewhere, trying to clear out compounds at some point on the map. I think that one position where they took over towards the Infinities after they finished their fight with Nova was just incredible. Awareness of what was going on around them. So really happy with it. And again, you're checking out them here on Sandhawk. Last Sandhawk, they came and fell prey to Na'Vi early on. And, they took some shots between themselves, back and forth there, and took some knocks in that area. And honestly, this time they've just completely disengaged it. I respect that. I like that. On Sandhawk, you really want to divert your attention towards that 15-minute mark. If you can make it that far, you have a much higher chance of getting towards the top spots in the game.
And speaking of the top spots, look at the top of the tables there. 87, 86, 85, 81. There's this clear group of 4 right now that are really starting to strike out. It's like the 4 elements of the lobby, and they're doing pretty well.
I guess you could call them the Forerunners.
At the forefront.
Yeah, true. Anyway, enough of this rebellious banter on broadcast. Let's get back to the game. Looking at Fenerbahce right now, again, a team that just hasn't really impressed us so far, but it will be at least one player from Nigma Galaxy going down. So they'll be down to 3. Not that it has ever mattered for Nigma Galaxy, because now their game plan changes, right? Last Sandhawk, they were able to win it out, grab that chicken dinner, as they had the 4, and they were in a great position throughout the entirety of the match. Yes, the circle was driven their way a fair few times, but now things change and they go to plan B, which is get Ralph all the medicine that he needs and then leave him out the blue, try and pick up as many points as possible. And usually that goes very well for them. 3rd or 2nd place, sending out that 2-man unit to try and start as many fights as possible, basically shaking the hornet's nest towards that end game, to ensure that Ralph actually gets towards those top spots earlier than he might need.
You just want to try and curtail that chance for Nigma Galaxy. We know how they like to play it. I mean, I call those teams at the top of the tables the 4. I feel like they're the water team, right? The 4 of the 4 elements.
Stop it.
They're the team that sort of flows in, like they're just trying to find all those cracks and sort of get their way in over time towards the top of the tables. It's working. I'm going for it.
You've gone too far. Stop
it. No. Na'Vi fire,
it.
I reckon.
Stop! Oh, stop with your Zuko shenanigans. I mean, they have set a fire to this little boat off in the distance, and 4 rivals left without a paddle and without a boat as well. So, they're basically swimming. They are swimming.
It's true. They are absolutely swimming right now.
So I think that for 4 rivals, the rest of the game is going to be somewhat difficult, because it will mean getting back to an island itself to play, and that will waste a lot of time. As you see, Rith already enveloped by the blue. 8-minute mark already, John. We are a fair way into the game. Fair few teams still out in the blue. You've got Godlike, Fenerbahce, Nigma Galaxy, and 4 rivals. So we'll see how far they go. Nigma Galaxy most likely doing their patented find all the first aid kits that we can technique. A very, very cool technique, to say the least. APU actually taking a lot of shots there from Kitsune, and without the ability to heal, might just go down to the blue itself.
Yeah, there's really not a lot you can do there. Has to come up to breathe as well, and just going to tick away, try and deny the point, but Kitsune gets it nonetheless. Nicely done. Matic on that hillside. They know the 4 rivals are out here, and they're just holding for these points, and rightly so. With the top of the table so close, with those 3 eliminations, we've got a new top spot.
Yeah, 4 limbs is unbelievably good at the beginning of a Sandhawk, because this is one of those maps where you can quite easily leave this game with only 0 points. So getting 4 points off the bat is extremely strong here on Sandhawk and really does secure you a nice position. Looking at the map, on your right-hand side, you see Nigma Galaxy. They do what they do best right now, which is scavenge away, find as much as possible. We still have this fight between Godlike as well as Fenerbahce going on. Fenerbahce very much weakened in that early game. I doubt they have much to say versus Godlike, though. Might have to eat my tongue here if anything goes awry.
Please don't. I need you to have that going forwards.
I'll just eat my words instead. Quite tasty.
All right, we'll go for that one then instead. Fenerbahce fighting back against Godlike in a pretty sticky situation right now, but Godlike losing players. 1 knocked certainly. Neo as well on the sidelines. Gets taken down by Nox. And Godlike losing players pretty fast now. Clutch God still standing. Fenerbahce, they're going to lose one, almost certainly. Jonathan looking to get the res onto Zegod.
Yeah, I mean, Andal actually was able to get a lot of information for them, but having 2 players down is really not what you wanted to see for Godlike, considering the start they had to this fight, and Fenerbahce just really didn't have the manpower available to themselves at the beginning with only 3 players, but somehow managed to make it happen here. Jonathan having to heal up. No real opportunity to pick up any of the other players on the team. Zegod up on his feet now, though. Xavier, on the other hand, taking fights with S2G off in the distance. But it is Infinity up here as well, so they will have heard those shots.
Yeah, this is on the north side now that we're on board with the Infinity, with S2G. Looking to take control of the hillside to the south of Tapmok. I mean, Tapmok was that regroup point, and they are going to move a little bit further south for the Infinity. Can't play on the outsides this time.
Like you say, though, I'm not going to call them 4 elements, but there is that clear top of the tables at the moment now. You know, we've had a lot of these games at the moment where we have seen teams, you know, stay relatively within striking distance of one another. Yeah, he knows that he was going down. So that's 4 rivals out, our first team here on Sandhawk. But yeah, that 81 to 69 point difference, which just drops towards that 60 point mark across the board, is quite a big drop. Zegod will get taken down by Dokkan Machine, who just has an absolutely lovely high ground position versus Godlike. And, you know, I think this is last chance from Jason, already going down here, perhaps out just in 15th place.
They're not out just yet. And it is Sanhok. Stranger things have happened. And it's only Zone 2, so these reses very much possible. And with Clutch God and Jonathan, I feel like, you know, they can get a little bit further. The question is, how much further can they go? The player knocked pretty close to them. Fenerbahce only have 1, and it's just Dokkan Machine, so they do actually have the numbers advantage. Enigma Galaxy, oh, they're out for a little bit of revenge. They lost a player early. Ralph, oh no, have they got too many meds? Are they not expecting there to be teams around this position? Ralph has to careen off to the side, and that puts a spanner in the works of the play from Enigma Galaxy.
Honestly, yeah, and to be fair, he does go down here. 25 bandages, 5 first aid kits, and I imagine you're absolutely right here, John. This fight has gone on for a very, very long time between Fenerbahce and Godlike, and Enigma Galaxy weren't expecting anyone to be out here on the side of the map, so bit difficult. Enigma Galaxy, Ralph does actually head back into that vehicle and send away. He's like, this is a danger zone. I don't want to be here. But Godlike, they do manage to start running away from this one. But if we take a look at the map, look how far out they are. There is absolutely no way that they're going to be making their way into this circle unscathed, or at least a little bit more scathed than they already are.
They're playing a different game. Look at that. They're in a different lobby. I'm pretty sure there's something's going on there. Goodness me. 3 teams that far south, close together at this stage of the game. Relatively unheard. The shift goes to the main island full, so everybody on that western side going to have to move. That's Na'Vi, that's 628 as well. Down 1 will have to push in from the south, and of course that Cabal down on that south bridge will have to move as well. But those are our big movers for this next phase.
Big movers indeed, John. Alpha 7 off in the distance. It was just to the southwest of Paradise Resort. 628. Stalwart, trying to get their way in here. Again, just really massive faller for this team. Literally on the edge of the cliff, and they have just tumbled down. It is not pleasing to look at, to be honest.
628. A little bit of the better of the STEs right now. There's Alpha 7 curtailing this advance, and you talked about it last time. They have fallen off just a little bit. This was a contender at the top of the tables in day 1.
Yeah, honestly, and somehow, some way, they're down in 8th place with 60 points. Yes, it's a bank that can be played with, but not quite as plentiful as currently Na'Vi's working with. You know, they can throw a fraction of their points in here and not even have to worry about it. Xavier over towards Paradise Resort. S2G left early after taking a few shots their way, down to just 2 players now, and Xavier quickly swoop in and take up Paradise Resort. So this is good for them. They have a lot of sight lines that they can now start to work with here. Team Secret off to that eastern side. 628 grabbing those vehicles. They'll be moving in from that northwest, John.
They have managed to get across to the main island. Na'Vi as well have been on the swim, and they have got up the mainland around that boot camp area. They are now on the western edge of that circle, just behind Stalwart and behind Alpha 7 for that center side. Fenerbahce do get eliminated, and Godlike is still going, Blank, and they've got 4 eliminations.
Yeah, so Godlike pick up at least a few points here. Yes, it's not going to send them flying towards the top of the table, but it's at least something. You know, we still have 3 more games left today, 4 including this one. But, you know, it's still a place to start from. Like I said before, 4 eliminations, 4 points here on Sandhawk at the beginning, right? That's good. Now we're at that 15-minute mark. You saw yourself pretty safe into this one. If you have 4 players, you're absolutely laughing to the bank. Here with Na'Vi, we can see them starting to try and take up some position. And with the next circle shift, which I imagine we're going to see very, very shortly on our screen, we'll see exactly who it favors.
Oh, Mela can't quite find the turn there. Gyro not quite playing ball at the moment. And 628 rock up on that compound for the outpost for Mela, for the Infinity. And underneath, Sunan's cutting out ankles. Mela low and in danger as well, but steps up to bat, does plenty of work there. Mela swaps the guns and finally goes down. But not before putting them on a little bit of a warning notice there. Nuzi has the time to reposition, but they've lost their teammate already.
It's not great news for them. 628. You know, still with 4 players, 1 on their knees, but really good angle there from Yu Yang to start picking up the fight from the backside. They could potentially try and pick that player up, but Sunan moves off in the distance. Wonderful shots from Nuzi. Ooh. This is the boy that we know.
Finds 2 players down now in his sights. 4-6-2-8. And an aid from Sunan to try and piece together the knock over towards Godtani, towards Logan as well. Another nade might just be good. Here's those steps. Pops the nade over the top, gets the knock, and Logan's low. Gets the knock and needs to fall back to the team. Daoshi almost certainly bleeding out here. Not going to be able to get to that one, but Yu Yang a little bit more lucky. 4th zone though, and I don't even know if he can go for these reses. The spray from Nuzi on the reposition as well, but he sends it to the sky and has to fall back. Needs to get ahead of the game in terms of these rotations. 6-8 down.
Goodness me, Nuzi, the king of that fight, coming out on top with some clutch moves. Honest to God, that guy was on it everywhere. You felt like he was playing as the entire team, just switching between third-person perspectives. You love to see it. Down 1 gaming, though, on that south side. Down to 3 players once again. Checking out where they're currently sat in 10th place. Not the best in the world. It's not where they want to end up. You know, Sandhawk hasn't typically been their best map ever. But, you know, if they get some points here, it might see them in a good position to start hitting those top spots. Na'Vi now finally making their move over to Stalwart.
Action. Close by, and Matic will spot it out. Pika could go on the peak as well. Matic does go down, takes a knee there. As Action holds out the angle. Meku can't suppress it, but he can suppress that one. Excellent shots coming through. That's Tixie across the way. Now it's just Pika in the compound. Alone for Stalwart.
Last remaining member, see how much further he can go. Drops out the window. You can see Nuzi on the bottom screen trying to make his way into the circle with the rest of his team of the Infinity. Na'Vi starting to send shots over towards Furious Gaming side, but they're taking a hell of a shots their way too. So Na'Vi looking a little bit bruised, looking a little bit battered, but not quite out yet.
They're all still alive though as well. Action down in this compound. Pika left them well alone, and Matic very, very resable here. They should know that. They should be able to put out those feelers. Pika not able to control those lines with the zone at the back though. Now V have to get a shifty on.
Yeah, the Infinity as well, unfortunately, just out in the zone a little bit too long. In zone 5, it is an awful place to be. Enigma Galaxy, I don't know if you just mentioned them there, John, but honestly, being able to get on that south side after playing so long on the edge of the blue, goodness me, really, really well done to them. If 3 players still up, a potential to keep going in this game. You know, there are not a lot of teams here with huge amounts of players. You know, 3 players might just be enough. Nova, once again, still in the circle. You love to see it. You know, if they're very, very consistent so far in getting to these end moments.
They're the rock of the 4 elements. They're the earth. That's what I'm saying. Consistent. You love it. You love it. Na'Vi moving through. Kitsune gets shut down. Actually, it's Alpha 7 in Pika's position. If Kitsune doesn't peek around the side of it, it's going to be completely unknown. They're going to be more preoccupied with Alpha 7, and Pika can potentially look to strike here on the side swipe against Na'Vi if they aren't checking those angles. Here he comes. He goes for one, but is shut down by Meku. But in the meantime, the rest of Na'Vi are falling. Alpha 7 find them on the broadside on the hills, and it's just such a difficult push. Matic last standing, and all of a sudden it comes crashing down for Na'Vi. 8 eliminations already on the game, though. They've done a lot of work.
It's a good point scoring, and with the amount of teams that are taking casualties so far, you know, if Matic can stay alive for just a little bit longer, might be able to get up to a 7th, maybe even a 6th positioning, and that might just be good enough on the point scoring to see them at the top of the tables. But Nova has a position on that southeast side. This is their time to reclaim that first spot.
There's a lot of first aids on board as well for Matic. The rest of his team just fell right next to him. And you know that Alpha 7 are going to have to move from their position. They're going to have to relocate if they want to go further in this circle. They are going to go down, though. Okay, does get spotted out. Actually, the play zone took that one. And RV eliminated. Now Nova with a chance to take back that top spot, but so did Enigma Galaxy on the south side.
Amodi out in the blue. Looks like he might just go down here. Next, Ruya, they're flying in. Remember, 4th place. We haven't been able to talk about them too much. I mean, Frozen's been clutching out, but we really haven't seen them as a full-man unit so far. But this time, they're in the game with full 4. So this could be a really good chance for them.
Next, Ruya. Find Ralph. And Damwon Gaming get eliminated. 7 teams remain now. Next, Ruya on the south side. I feel like they have a decent shout at control here, but it's all about who gets this high ground, who controls this area. Lord healing out for Enigma Galaxy.
It's time to go for Enigma Galaxy. Max was right, you know, regardless of what happens, they're still going to get a pretty decent placing here. 3 eliminations as well, up to 7th. Na'Vi goes down. Get a final elimination point 2. A7, though, struggling. 7 wanting to see this team bring it back here. Only 15 alive. Carrillo, the clutch force himself, runs away from that grenade as it hits the floor. Might be able to bring Senatexa up, but Xavier, they're still pushing.
They're pushing around. They know that they want to flush these ones out. And in fact, that will happen. Excellent shots actually coming through from Frozen from next Ruya. And that is going to be Alpha 7 going down yet again. Team Secret fall, and with 5 teams alive, now the points for the placement start to add up. Highest tally right now on eliminations is Xavier.
6 on the board, but Nova looking in a really good spot. They can play around this tree line. Looks like they've learned from that game they played against Na'Vi as well. They're getting this split on, trying to gather as much information as possible on your screen, potentially catch out some of these players. Next, Ruya, next up to bat versus Xavier. See what they can get done. Nice nade goes over the top for Xavier.
Finding one, Nova. Take a knock over towards Order. Nade's going back towards Xavier. Next, Ruya trying to summit this hill, trying to push on up and get it done. And Frankie low on the outskirts will bleed out. Lamborghini, last chance saloon now for Xavier. Down in the grass and will get spotted. Yekta deals with it.
Honestly, next Ruya, one of my wildcard picks coming into this tournament. And they really impressed on me. They have some very clutch players on the teams, but Frozen's interview really did leave a mark on my mind because he says that this team works together to support one another to make these big plays, and that's what they absolutely do. They know that the spearhead is Frozen, but regardless of that, they make it work. Nova, though, is no easy task ahead of them.
3 players alive for Nova, and that's a great way to start, but that's given back twice as much as they got. An excellent nade from Kadur to see 2 down and leave Order all alone.
Oh my God!
It's nades everywhere. One more as well, and Order steps up big for Nova. Just Kadur, the nade man himself, gets a taste of his own medicine, and it's Nova to snatch it back. Next, Ruya take a tumble, and Nova put themselves on top. The defending champions stand tall.
Order in the court lays down the gavel, and it is a hammer of brutal strength. It just crushes next Ruya underneath.